Everybody, good morning. My cameraman showed up. It wouldn't be an opening day if he wasn't a little bit late, so.
Not that late.
But hey, it's a nice cool morning. It's in the 40s right now, so we're not going to waste a lot of time talking here. We're going to take a walk back to that muddy set where we have the vine and a mock scrape in front of. We're not really anticipating seeing any of our shooter bucks. David and I have been getting them on camera, but they've been nocturnal for the last like 2 weeks or so, and they've been sporadic, but they've been hitting the scrapes. Our goal today is we had a group of doe that showed up a little after around 7:30 the one morning, right in the scrape. So if they do the same thing, it should be a nice 10 or 15 yard shot. So we're just going to go back and enjoy opening morning sit in a tree stand, and we'll see what happens. So we'll see you guys back there. It's 6:15. We're all settled in. We didn't spook any deer coming in, so that's good. It's nice and cool. So we got a really nice setup here. We got a lot of cover. We only have a couple holes that we're going to be able to shoot through out here. We've got the mock scrape with the vine right above it. We freshened it up with the ScrapeFix. That's about, I'd say, 10 yards out here in front of us. We got a shooting lane there. We got a shooting lane here. We can squeak one through. It might be a little tough shooting straight down, and then we can shoot out into this field, this soybean field behind us. But we anticipate these deer probably walking this edge, or maybe coming straight at us out of the cover crop. So we're gonna go dark and sit until the sun comes up and keep our fingers crossed some deer start to move. It's legal shooting, so the sun's starting to come up over our backs. We got a soybean field right over us here. Our food plot is probably about 80 yards up above us. We're not far from where David shot his buck last year, probably down about 60 yards, 70 yards from that, where it came through, and the big cover crop fields out in front of us here. So I'm just gonna sit tight and enjoy the morning. We got some coffee in the bison, and starting to see some of the holes that we can shoot through, so hopefully something will come through, and we gotta make sure we can get it on camera, but we'll try and get a shot.
big ones down here.
Yeah, I see him. The other two are down here.
Right on the corner.
They made the corner, and they're making a scrape down here where we saw that one making a scrape last year. Guys, we had 3 shooter bucks just come across the bottom down below us here, about 200 yards. The big 9 went back, but the other 2 big ones went across the bottom making scrapes, so we're thinking they may come up this tree line on one of the sides here. Well, we just had a small, looked like maybe a spike buck come across that bottom and kind of go the same way those last couple of does went. But we've been seeing, that's probably about our 9th deer that we've seen this morning so far. It's only about 8 o'clock, maybe a little after. We don't know where those 2 bigger bucks went that went down below us. They haven't made their way up here, so, but they're definitely up on their feet. We're seeing deer, so it's been a fun morning for sure. I know this morning I said we weren't planning on really anticipating to see any of our shooter bucks because they've been showing up on our cameras at night, but we saw all 3 of them this morning. So we're gonna sit for a little while yet. You never know. It's early and the deer are moving, so I'm gonna sit back and enjoy it. Well, it's 9:30 and we've been looking pretty hard and we haven't really seen anything moving, nothing in the woods moving, so, but these deer all went back over my right shoulder behind David through a thick area, and we're thinking they're back in their bedding now for the day, so we're going to take this and opportunity, pack everything up, and we're going to climb down. We'll go up and freshen the scrape up by the food plot, and then we'll just sneak right back down the tree line and figure out a plan. I think we'll sit somewhere down lower tonight. All those deer came from below, and Dave and I have been sitting here talking. I mean, the soybean are starting to get brown and turn color, so they're really not going to eat that right now. They're not going to come out and eat this cover crop. We haven't really been getting them much on the reveals up here by the food plot, And all these deer today came from the bottom, with the exception of 2 buck, come out of what we call the one little patch of woods over there. And they went down where all the deer came out of, and we think they might have circled. Instead of coming out here, they circled back around. So it seems like the deer are coming back and forth from the bedding to the corn, and there's some water down there. So we're going to take a look as we're walking out, try and find a spot to set up and slip back in maybe there for the evening. So we're going to get down for now. All right, guys. Well, it's probably about 3:15 by now. We just got back down to the farm here. We were talking about Mom and Dad. It's a lot warmer than it was this morning. It's about 70 degrees right now, but it'll cool off a little bit once the evening moves on. But we're just going to take a slow walk back. We've got a lone wolf stand with some sticks, and I've got the saddle. We're going to do this a little unconventional tonight. David's actually going to be in the front of the tree, but he's going to be filming, and I'm going to be in the saddle behind him. But I think that's going to work out for me to be able to shoot better on both sides of the tree line, where we think these 2 of these buck came through and made some scrapes. So we'll show you these 2 scrapes that they made this morning, and we're going to get back and set up in there, and then we're going to leave that lone wolf there, so if we can dart back there, after work or something to get up in a stand, we'll do that. But we're going to take a slow walk back. It's warm, and get these all hung and get settled in and just relax for the evening. Well, we had to call an audible. So I don't even know what time it is. Let's see here. It's 4:30, so that's good. We got about 2 hours and 15 minutes until sunset. But what we did was, as we were walking back, our neighbors were down at the pond with their kids. We could hear the kids having fun, so we had to call an audible, because we knew that these deer eventually want to make it down to that corn, but they weren't going to come out low tonight early. They went up in through, so I'm in the saddle, David's in front of me in the lone wolf, and we've got a lot of shooting, and David will show you that. I can shoot in the woods out here, probably 30 yards. I can shoot the edge of the field behind me to my left, and I can shoot in the woods right in here too, if something sneaks through right here. So it actually is a pretty good setup with me behind a tree. It allows me to draw, and David doesn't have to move much with the camera being in front. He's got trees and whatnot breaking up his silhouette. Plus we have the setting sun behind us, and these deer are going to be coming from behind the camera. So they all came in this way this morning. The big 9-pointer went through a logging road down below us, and we're thinking he's in this thick stuff. And when the other 2 big buck came out of here, they went through and made 2 scrapes where we wanted to sit, and then we think they circled and back around and came back in here too. So we think these deer, if they come out, they're going to come out high and work their way up to the top of the tree line, and then eventually down to that cornfield. But they won't go this way with them having fun down by the pond. So I'm in the saddle, David's in the lone wolf. I think we got a good setup here. We're just going to sit tight. It's warm. We're going to try and cool down. We got some water, and enjoy the evening, and just wait to see what happens. It's 5:45, so we got 1 hour till sunset. It's starting to cool down nice now. That sun's setting behind the tops of the trees here over our backs, so it's cooling down. The shadows are starting to kind of go away, and the woods is going a little bit darker, so we should start seeing deer soon if they're going to move. Been seeing a lot of squirrels and chipmunks to this point, but we're thinking they're going to come straight at us from this patch of woods up here, but you never know. We're getting into that golden hour now. I got it.
so I can't see nothing. That's a big doe.
It's about 10 after 6. We've got some deer moving across this hollow in this little field here to our right. We've seen 2 small buck look like spikes, and there's a big doe. Big doe's walking up to the spike buck right now, so we're just kind of watching him and keeping our eyes peeled to see if anything else comes out. There's a logging road over there, and they're coming out that way and coming into this field and feeding. So we're seeing deer, we just aren't seeing the big ones yet. If we're gonna see them, it's gonna be that last light. So we got time. They're right over there now. Are they 2 buck?
That's what I'm wondering.
That might be that real small spiker. There's something else in the woods coming out. Yeah. That's a big buck. Big buck, big buck, big buck. That's a big buck. Got a big buck just came out here. I'm gonna stand up now. See if David can get on him.
Cannot see the big one. I don't know where it went. I see, I got him out right through the tree line right now. Up to your right.
Alright guys, well, that big buck went right out to a doe that was in a tree line. He went through the tree line, and we're thinking he must have went straight out, and he's probably angling down to that cornfield. He did not come up past our muddy set, because we don't have any pictures of him on the camera there, so we're losing light. We really can't see to shoot or film in here, so we're just going to start breaking up and get everything down. We'll see you back at the house. Alright guys, well, we got back to the house here. Tell you what, couldn't ask for a better opening morning. I don't think we've had an opening morning like that in quite a while, other than being able to get a shot at one of those shooter bucks that we saw today. We had all three of them this morning, and I said we probably weren't going to see them. And we figured out why they were nocturnal on our cameras, because they're taking a different route right now, and they're working edges, transitions between different crops and fields, and working the edges of the woods line, and we're finding scrapes and whatnot. So we have a little bit better idea, especially of the big 9. And actually that big 9 is a 10. He's got a split G3 right from the base and the main beam as it comes up. So pretty cool, heavy. We saw him tonight. Beautiful deer. So hopefully one of us, David or myself, can get a shot at that buck, or any of the 3 that we saw this morning. I mean, they're just all great looking deer. But hey, thanks for hanging out with us. We had a great opening day here on October 2nd here in PA. So as always guys, if you have not subscribed to our channel, please click that subscribe button. We appreciate all your support, and the season is just getting started, and hopefully if this is any indication of what we can expect, it's going to be a great season. So thanks again for David, myself, and the rest of the team. We'll see you guys on the next video.